Test, test, test. Oh, about 100.
Well, hello there, guys. Welcome to Field of Glory 2. We're going to get started here, but I want you guys to let me know whether or not you think the game volume is a bit too loud. If it is, we'll turn it down just a bit. In fact, I think I'm going to need to turn it down. It's just a bit too loud for me. Let's accept that. And we will jump in very soon, guys. So I'm thinking that we have a few things we could do here. Obviously, we've got a tremendous amount of stuff to show you guys, some new stuff, as the community section was just recently opened. But we're going to go ahead. Hey, Mildolf, how you doing, buddy? We're going to go ahead and finish up our Macedonian campaign. I think for those of you that were here with us the last stream, you probably want to go ahead and take a look at the Macedonian campaign, see if we can't get that final victory, or we can show off the user content. And yes, absolutely, Dave, we definitely want to show off that user content, and I definitely want to play some battles in the user content as well. How's it going, Beryl? Good to see you, buddy. So initially, we're just going to go ahead and basically jump right into our previously saved game. I do want to go ahead and finish it up. The reason being is, you know, typically we say we're going to finish a campaign and we never do. We always, like, you know, sort of play the first part. But in this campaign, we're actually to the last part of the campaign. We've beaten the Greeks in 4 out of 5 battles. Well, this is the 5th battle. And now we're trying to finish them off once and for all. So far, we're playing as Macedon during this campaign, and we've been doing an excellent job as Macedon. I've definitely seen, and this could be, you know, due to the difficulty setting, which I believe we're on Governor. Let's return back, though. But I really think that the Macedonians are, in general, stronger than the Greeks in terms of their ability to really storm the enemy and cause some major damage. So I'm going to start moving my Macedonians forward, and I hope I'm right in my estimation. Let's go ahead and do this. I also want to fire at those guys if we can, but it looks like we already fired at them next turn. All right, let's keep moving forward. And since I sort of sent up a few of these units over here on the far left, I'm going to do the same with the far right, sort of create... I've never really created a formation like this, but essentially it's a center that's back about a tile with the rest sort of up in front. If you guys could take a look there. I'm not really sure what to think about it. It might be totally useless. Also, let's not forget the fact that the Macedonians have a ton of these light javelin men units, and they could cause some problems. Oh, overlay is on. Sorry, guys. Thank you. Somebody mentioned that. I'm surprised, like, nobody mentioned that firsthand. just kind of anticipated, like, well, it's probably not going to be on. There we go, guys. So that's the look of the actual thing. And as you can see, I've set up my guys in a bit of a weird way. Basically, some guys over here on the right side, some guys over here on the left side. Almost like a bull with his horns, if I could explain that. Okay, so let's see if we can go ahead. I think we can end the turn now, but I want to make sure that we've moved everybody we need to. And I think that's pretty much it. End turn. Okay, here we go. All right, they're moving forward, and it's been quite common during this particular game for the enemy to move forward consistently and get trapped. So we're hoping that that's exactly what's going to happen to these Greeks. Hello, Wavell. Good to see you, buddy. Alright, a lot of Thorakitai on the enemy front. Oh, and there we go. I knew those guys were going to come in and do some serious damage eventually, and sure enough, they already took down a nice percentage of one of our units. Alright, back to us. The biggest thing I'm worried about right now is basically the enemy missile units over here. So I'd actually rather get in the fight with the enemy quickly. Basically force them to attack. And try to push them back. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to charge this enemy. I know they're going to evade, but at least we get them out of this general area. And I would actually rather do some damage to these guys right here. We actually should probably charge. Believe it or not, when you're dealing with a light javelinman unit, it's quite easy to break them during a charge. Then again, we're still taking a bit of a risk, so I'm not going to do it immediately, but I'm going to keep charging with the rest of these guys. And let's also go ahead and get a shot here at the slingers. 11. Honestly, I think it probably would have been better for us to move our pike phalanx ahead. But that's okay, not the end of the world. Move these guys forward. We're going to move our general forward as well. This is Dionyshidoros, son of Ambrosius, and he's actually survived this entire time. I would like some advice when dealing with pesky knuckheads deploying swarms of missile cavalry. Well, that's a great question, Beryl. I have the same question because, you know, quite frankly, when I'm playing multiplayer, the army I fear the most is Parthia, and it's exactly because of that, because the Parthians are capable of essentially charging, continuing to charge, and basically just attacking you with missiles and destroying you quite quickly, and retreating, you know, every time you attack them. So it can be really frustrating to play against. I don't have a perfect answer for you. I think if RBS shows up, Richard Bodley Scott, the creator of the game, he does tend to stop by a lot of these streams. He could probably give you some much better feedback than I can. But I do think it's a good question. Let's keep on moving. And don't forget, guys, as Muzo has mentioned, there are 6 positions left for our Field of Glory 2 tournament. There's some cool stuff there, so you're definitely going to want to go ahead and join up. And as mentioned before, let's take a look here who mentioned this, because I thought it was very good advice. Was it Piddles and Squishy? Let's see. Well, essentially, the important thing, yeah, there we go, Cable Nexus. You know, it's really just, even if you don't do extremely well, or even if you wind up losing all your battles, it's really something you should check out. I mean, keep in mind, this game only recently came out, so there's going to be a lot of people in your position that have not yet played a tournament. Don't be nervous, jump in there, and come on, you can absolutely win. If I can get all the way to this point in the campaign, you guys can definitely jump into the tournament and do all right. We also have our wonderful, wonderful missile unit here, and I never usually use these units against enemy light javelinman units, but in this case I did because I knew they were about to break. So let's hope that that was the right choice. All right, ending the turn. Bit of a weird setup here. The enemy's got a nice straight line, and we're just jumbled up here. Okay, let's end the turn. Yes, we're going to do a strategic command stream tomorrow. And I definitely expect you guys to show up to that. Again, in terms of World War II games, I've said it many times before, Strategic Command may be one of my favorite, if not my favorite game that Slytherin has to offer. Just the ability to sort of change history or relive history is really fun. And we'll decide tomorrow exactly what kind of campaign we choose. As you can see here, the enemy is pushing us back quite a bit over there on the right side, and that was my concern, of course. Now that they're moving in with their missile units, I think things are going to get even more difficult, but we'll have to wait. Agrippa is the Greek version of the firing squad. Pretty close, pretty close. Yes, absolutely, Cable. Cable makes a great point, and that's the truth, is that, you know, few people have gotten the opportunity. There we go, we broke a unit. Few people have gotten the opportunity to play anyway, so you're likely going to be faced with people that are more or less on the same skill level as you are. So please do keep that in mind. Now, I want to charge with my general with Dionyshidoros, So we are going to do just that. 63 enemies fragmented already. That is fast. That was really fast. And I wanted to follow up with the Superior Warband, but I think we're actually going to use the Superior Warband against this enemy unit here. There we go, 59. Before we attack with our hoplites. And I'm wondering if you guys know, is it pronounced hoplites or hoplites? I'm actually a little, I'm wondering. So first, we're also going to go ahead and fire with our archers here. See if we can break that unit before we even attack it. And actually, let's go ahead and attack the hoplites. And I think we can go ahead and either do a full frontal attack, or maybe we could attack these light javelin men unit. Of course, they're probably just going to evade. Attack with the hoplites here. Nice. Enemy unit fragmented. Look how quickly they got fragmented. I'm absolutely going to charge here. And that's why I attacked, to see if I can open up another portion here in the enemy line. And they actually managed to hold firm. I'm a little annoyed because the enemy managed to hold firm. Frustrating, but it happens. Let's go ahead and charge this unit here. 47. Enemy unit already fragmented. Look how quickly that happened. And I hope this means that the Greeks aren't even going to be a fight for us here at the end. This is the last battle of the campaign. There might be one more, so don't take my word for it, but I believe this is the last battle of the campaign, and if it is, it's a hell of a good ending. Move these guys over here to start taking on that cavalry. Hoplite, yes, thank you, Piddles. Did I say Liebstandarte or hoplites? Ah, it makes sense, Piddles. That does make sense. Some private tournament advice. Learn from my mistakes, of which there are many. I've actually done fairly well in this game. I mean, my biggest piece of advice would be this. Depending on what kind of person you are, you know, what kind of strategy gamer you are, there's going to be a certain faction in this game from 48 different factions that really fits your play style. So I would try to find that faction. Now, personally, my favorite faction are the, well, the Sertorians, essentially the Lusitanians, the Hispanics, etc. But realistically speaking, I wouldn't actually recommend that army. It's actually a really tough army to play with, and if you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna fall apart. So I would try to find an army or a style that you feel comfortable with, and work on that style. You know, work on that style as you wait for the tournament. Try and improve your attacks. Try and improve your defensive capabilities, etc. And I think that's going to lead you to victory, or at least to a pretty good outcome. All right, let's have the turn here. We're turning it over to the Greeks. I'm hoping these units stay together. Oh, thank goodness. We still have a nice shot here, and I'm actually going to fire at the missile unit, try to get them to run. Come on. No, they don't want to run, unfortunately. We also still have this general unit. I'm going to move him over here. This may not have been the greatest decision. In fact, let me get him back. I'm just going to move him forward one turn, or one tile. There we go. I'm not sure about the timer. That's a very, very good question. Hello, Shushu. Good to see you. Or is it Shushu or Shushui? I think it's Shushui. $22. Well, we still held firm there. But yeah, I don't understand. It's confusing me that the enemy would take a raw pike phalanx unit to host one of their generals, but it's their army, not mine. I'm almost certain that there is no time expectancy. I mean, you know, obviously there's going to be like, you know, finish this game within, you know, X amount of hours. But in terms of like, you know, your turn when you're actually playing, I don't really think there's much of a limit. I mean, you know, if you gotta take time to do your turn, you gotta take time to do your turn. As far as, you know, taking extra time, and yes, we broke another unit, you know, like over a week. I think we probably can't allow that, but yeah, I think that should be fine. There we go, guys. Another win. We got another disruption on the enemy. But we've got to be careful. This is, like I said, the last battle. Things are bound to be a little more difficult here. Very cool, God's Cop. Congrats on joining the tournament. I always try to figure out where you guys get your names from. and I never even come up with even a vague idea. There we go, another victory. So we sent off some more Greeks. Go enjoy your wine, Greeks. You don't want to fight this war. Let's go ahead and attack with our general. So far, Dionysodorus has been an absolute hero during our campaign. And look at that. He just broke another unit. The unit wasn't even disrupted yet. Like, it was just slightly fragmented, and we just broke it with a charge. I mean, it's amazing. Our generals are awesome here. I would like to attack with a warband, but it actually doesn't look like they're looking so hot. So I think the next best thing, we turn, we fire here. Nice! Archer down. And let's charge. There we go, 51, and the enemy unit broke, guys. There's going to be a morale check there. I am going to charge here. I thought the enemy would hold firm, and they didn't hold firm, but the fact is they couldn't stop us from attacking there, and they had to run. Very cool. So let's go ahead and, a little confused as to what to do here. Let's do this. 50, held firm. Gotta give it to these guys. They definitely have a lot of bravery. Well, at least their mercenaries do. The actual Thodophori, which make up the Greek force, they're actually some of the most afraid units that I've ever faced. They take morale checks pretty regularly. And I'm not sure if that's, it could be actually a positive thing. It could be that they're just such smart warriors that they know when they've been beaten. But to me, it's funny because, we've been basically beating the Greeks left and right here as the Macedonians. We're definitely a much more aggressive force. There's no doubt about it. I think playing as Macedon, if you want to play, as a Hellenistic state, but you still want that raw offensiveness that the Romans have, a good choice might be, believe it or not, Macedonia. There we go, disrupted, looking nice, looking very nice. And we could actually charge into this unit, which wouldn't be such a bad idea, because then we'd be right in front of Galenos, son of Telesforos. So I'm going for it. I wouldn't recommend doing this, but I want to get in front of this guy, and I was hoping we would be facing him. Doesn't look like we will be, but that's all right. What about charging there? No, it's not going to work. So I would rarely charge with my own missile cavalry or missile infantry, but in this case I will because the enemy is actually slightly disrupted. So let's go ahead and do that, and I'm going to charge here as well. 9, enemies fragmented, and I think we can break them this turn. 19, oh wow, they held firm, and I'm actually surprised because this is a light javelin unit. Their strength, as you can see there, is 139 out of 247, and that's really the amount of men that they've lost, so, pretty terrifying. Oh, from the time you switched from 56K modem to cable. That makes sense. Your name is Barry, and you had a teacher who has his Harry for short for Harold. Why isn't Barry short for Barreled? That's a funny teacher, man. That's actually that's quite funny. That's quite funny. Barreled. Let's take a look here. Oh, man. I like that one. I like that one quite a lot. You had an interesting teacher. All right, let's make sure we moved all our units. So we still have, of course, our beautiful heavy artillery. Wow, look at that. Smashing into Thodophoroi, 27 damage. You can only imagine during this time period what kind of casualties that would cause in terms of wounds. I'm guessing broken legs would definitely be part of the equation. Let's end the turn here. Confirm. Oh, and unfortunately we lost quite an important unit there. And it looks like our superior warband is also getting fragmented. The spears are just getting, a bit too far and managing to do quite a bit of damage to our warbands. The warbands have essentially short swords, but trust me, once they get that attack going, it's unstoppable. In fact, if you want an extremely offense-based group, I would go with the Gauls. Let's take a look here. Oh, I used to play a lot of Day of Defeat. How you doing, Dally? Good to see you, buddy. Dally is also the art director. I like to call him the art director, as well as one of the moderators on my channel, so it's always good to see him here. I used to spend a lot of time on the same server playing for hours on end. Someone else regularly once called me Owly. Since CJM, I never slept. Well, he's not wrong. There we go. That's a charge. I took a leggy to it and added a D to the front. Oh, yeah, they let Dally actually mean something. That is interesting. Well, I don't know if you want to share your real name, Dowley, with the folks here. If you don't want to, it's not a problem. But if I'm not mistaken, your real name is the name of a character. I can't remember if it's Dota 2 or League of Legends. It's actually a character from the game. So when you told me your real name, I was like, oh, that sounds familiar. Let's go ahead here. So I could charge here with the general, and I'm going to do it. We're going to break the unit instantly. Disrupted. And we could actually probably charge in here, get a nice smash with our units. But unfortunately, the Superior Warband, I think he's pretty much finished. Ah, Low-Spirited Dismal. Going to turn to face the enemy. And remember, since we got that nice attack on the enemy, we actually managed to get a pretty good position. So actually, I'm going to turn towards this Toroforo unit. You guys can probably see why. He's about to break. So we definitely want to do that. No, it's not Kindred. It's not Kindred. Let's see. So, probably go into the enemy general unit. Then again, I was expecting this charge to be much more effective because we have spears, but clearly that's not the case. So I think probably charging this general. Then our loss chance later is going to be quite high. So no, we will charge the cavalry. Let's do it. Charge it from this side as well. And of course, we've got an enemy general there, but they're holding on really well. Gotta give it to them. This time the Greeks are actually doing okay. All right, let's see. So I'd love to smash into this unit, but I'm almost certain they're going to evade. So we're going to charge here, and actually we managed to disrupt. Really nice flank attack, and they broke. I mean, they break so damn fast. Wow. Hey, Damien, how you doing? Yes, still ignoring terrain, but we're winning. We're doing pretty well. Although this is mostly flat terrain, but I see what you mean over here in the heavier terrain. I'm kind of ignoring it. Yes, I am. You've caught me again. This is why I will not be participating in the tournament. Let's go ahead and move forward, and let's get these guys over here. I think this is pretty safe. And go ahead and throw some more arrows their way. I'm also going to move this guy forward if I can, and basically just try to go ahead and throw some shots over here. I think I want to attack these guys. Break them, boys. For Macedon. There they go. Is what supposed to be historical shadow? So I was going to try to attack here, but no, I don't think we're going to do very well against that unit. So I'm just going to face the cavalry unit. At least this way we're presenting a wall of spears if they decide to move forward and attack us. And yes, the artillery. We were loving the artillery, actually. It's just this guy is already, quite badly damaged. I want to see if we can't make him run here. Some artillery fire. Doesn't look like that happened, but pretty nice shot anyway. And unfortunately, I think our superior warband is going to break this turn. It's kind of sucks because we've been doing really well. But we still have the enemy at 35% retreat, which is really, really good. Yeah, that's a great question, Shadow. So no, they're just representative of the army you're playing as. For instance, I get red banners even if I'm playing as, the Gauls. I could be playing as the Lusitanians. It doesn't matter. Of course, the Romans typically go with that Roman red, although not always. We've got a lot of imitation legionaries. All right, there we go. Sure enough, I knew that was going to happen. The superior warband routed. Disrupted. There we go. Hello, Conjure. Good to see you, buddy. There we go. I was worried about this occurring. So essentially, since we lost that warband, it opened up a lot of different gaps for the enemy to sort of get in here. I still think we're going to win this one. I'm still confident. And when do you guys ever see me confident? I mean, even when the enemy's at 44% and we're at 0, I still am not confident. But in this case, I still think we're going to win this battle. But it could be a little tougher than our other battles with the Greeks. Remember, this is the last one. So anything could occur. And they've actually disrupted us without even killing a single one? Oh, come on, boys. Basically, the rock just scared my men. I think they should join the Greeks. They're just as defeat as the Greeks are. Running away from rocks. Come on. Oh. 27. Enemy unit fragmented there. Enemy unit fragmented there. Wow, guys. We just had one javelin unit fragment 2 enemy units. That is awesome. And that's a pike phalanx there. Wow. I wish we could attack both this turn. Of course, we can only attack one. But that's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and attack this guy. And maybe the morale check will make this guy run as well. Held firm. Oh, you sneaky, sneaky, lucky bastard. And no, we can attack here as well. Imagine if we could get 2 breaks. Look at that, guys. 2 breaks. The enemy did hold firm, unfortunately. But damn, 2 breaks is pretty great. Charge here. Enemy is disrupted. And I think with one more attack, they could be broken. Oh, yes. Multiple morale hits are awesome when they go your way, says Barreled. Absolutely true. I think it'd be cooler if they had historical banners. The Greeks and the Macedonians have the Roman wreath. It's interesting you mentioned that, and it's we're actually going to be jumping into that later today during the stream. We're going to show you guys that basically modding in this game is extremely easy, and we already have a few modders that have assisted us in creating some incredible scenarios, which you guys are going to be able to see today, and they've changed the flags as well. So changing the flags, if you mod, is absolutely possible. You could create, you know, basically units however you want, and have a lot of fun with it. But basically, just about anything you wish for is possible in this title. Now over here, unfortunately, Dionysodorus has done great, no doubt about it. But he's got to now try to deal with the enemy here, and I think they're going to break this pike phalanx. It's not looking very good. Let's charge. 13, disrupted. Let's kill this general. Nicostratos. Come on, boys. Held firm. Lucky bastards. Well, we're going to keep throwing our javelin, and we're probably going to get an auto break here because if you look at our strength, actually our strength is not too bad. It looks worse because of the 2 guys down on the floor. How would you go about doing historical banners for nations that might not have used any? Well said, Dally. Yep, very well said. You know, the advent of flags, this sort of thing, was really not nearly as important in this time period. You know, the concept of nationality even probably wasn't really around. I mean, I'm sure people were proud to be Greek, but, you know, Greece didn't exist. It was Athens, Sparta, a number of different states, and even in that particular setting, I'm sure that within those states there were probably even smaller states, maybe autonomous regions. But you know, the countries the way we know them today, that just wouldn't have existed in this time period, as Dally rightly pointed out. But you could still get them. You could definitely still get them. You just need to have a little bit of modding skill. I'd love to fire here. Oh, come on. They couldn't get one hit. A little disappointed in our men there. All right, let's fire at the enemy infantry here. They're running, but just to make sure they won't return. And yeah, our guys' game is off today. Our archers are not doing that well. All right, let's end the turn. These guys might be broken and turn it over to the Greeks. That's actually a good question, Mildolf. Well, you guys have seen me in the stream. Now, the funny thing about me, and this is absolutely true, is I was adopted by American and Portuguese parents. So I actually have no idea what my ancestry is. If you guys want to take a guess, go for it. But I consider myself Portuguese-American. It would be interesting to find out, though. Maybe one day I'll do one of those tests, those region tests. Ah, you were adopted too. Welcome to the club, my friend. Ooh, nice. So you would like where I'm at right now, which is Milan here in Italy at the Slytherin office. You would definitely like it here. There we go. We broke another unit, guys. We're getting them up to that 45%. We're getting there slowly but surely. We broke the general unit. We didn't kill him. I was hoping for a kill, but hey, you know what? He's going to have to go and explain to his friends how he managed to lose to a group of so-called tiny Macedonians. Some had, some didn't, and some of those who did use banner speak today don't know what they look like. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, we have, you know, sort of the Hollywood, the imaginary, you know, idea of what a banner looked like. We do know what the Senate's banner looked like, you know, with the, well, this banner, essentially. So we know what that looked like, but the other banner is a bit more challenging, I think, to determine. Just a dirty Englishman. All right, well, come on, guys. We're so close to a victory here. Charge. 23, enemy unit broke. They're routing. Galeshoforos, he tried to get into a fight with us. I want to make sure he realizes he's made a mistake, and I think he already did. He didn't even stay to get disrupted. He's just like, yeah, let's not fight. How about that? All right, I'm going to charge these guys. They're going to evade. Kind of expected that, but it's going to allow us to charge into the Thoroforo unit here. 48 disrupted. Now, what I didn't want to happen is they got away from our unit here, and now our warband are the only ones fighting them. You know, that kind of forces us, we basically wasted a turn with these guys, which is a little annoying. Let's charge. Rear attack. We are going to get the hit. They just can't run away. There's just no real movement here, or no room for movement here, I should say, which is going to hurt the enemy. Do the same here. I hope they charge into the flank of this enemy here. 40, held firm. Damn, well, we're off to a good start. I'll say that. Let's go ahead and jump in here. We're so close to a victory, too. We still got that raw pike phalanx that's kind of frustrating me. Turn and shoot. A general idea of origin going 12,000 years, Northern European hunter-gatherer. That's pretty cool. I've got to take a look at that test. It would be great, though, if they just, like, you send in your blood and they just kind of, like, throw it in the bin and then they just send back whatever they want. Like, yeah, all right, well, you're, sub-Saharan African, 95%. But I don't look sub-Saharan African. Nonsense. Just a bad person. Let's see. Let's, So I kind of want to attack the flank here of this enemy, so I'm going to turn. The one thing I don't like about the Greek and Macedonian forces is the constant turning. You know, if you're not in the perfect position to do damage to the enemy, you're stuck in a constant, you know, turn here, turn there. You sometimes miss, you know, certain turns because of all the turning you're doing. No pun intended, but it can get really frustrating. Whereas, you know, you can kind of move around a lot easier with the Romans and other units. Cheese eating surrender monkey 50%. What, no Viking blood at all on Agrippa? Alright, let's go here. Let's take a look. We could charge. No, it's not going to work out very well. But we're getting close, guys. I mean, just look at the field. There's so many dead here. I think we moved just about everybody. I think, yeah, we fired the artillery, so we're going to end the turn. And hope for the best here. And I think this is the last part of the campaign. Could be wrong, and the enemy is breaking us as well, so we've got to be careful. We can't get too confident yet. Cheese-eating surrender. I'm not going to get over that. No, I think we're talking... I think that's a good guess, Zach Blood. A very good guess, because I am a Yankee. But I think we're talking about, you know, like thousands of years ago, what the ancestry... I guess ancestry would be a better word. No, this is our commander-in-chief, so it's Dionoshidoros. He's still alive, but he could fall soon, to be honest with you. And he's been with us throughout our entire campaign series. So even if we win here, but we lose Dionoshidoros, I feel like we've lost Macedon's best hopes for a good king. The guy definitely knows what he's doing. He's effective in battle. But if he gets killed, so be it. We're looking for victories here, not leaders. It would be cool. I would love that. Doesn't matter, they're always going to be one of us. One of us. One of us. Yes, absolutely. No, even if even if I find out who, biologically what I am, I would always be Portuguese. It wouldn't matter. Puerto Rican Agrippa. No, that would be funny, Sean. And actually, somebody sort of just mentioned that would be the best situation where you get it back and it's like 100% Portuguese. It's like, well, that was entertaining. There we go, guys. That's a victory. Let's see if we won the entire campaign. You guys can, first of all, I just want you to take a look at all the bodies on the field. This has been a vicious fight. But there we go. Macedonian victory. We can claim this as a glorious victory. And those are the final losses. So 1,093 of the enemy killed, 1,363 wounded. We've got 3,428 captured or deserted. Basically, we just got 3,428 new slaves. And we lost 424 men, 856 wounded. Most of them are going to be just fine. Tengrib, yeah, that's... In other words, your family hasn't moved around too much. Thanks, Muso. I'm gonna vote on this myself because that's how I am. Let's end here. So I believe we successfully achieved. So we still have one battle. Oh my gosh! All the struggle so far has led to this moment. The scene is set for the final showdown. The enemy appear willing to accept battle. We're gonna offer battle, guys. But if you guys want to take a look at the user-created scenarios first, I did promise you guys that we'd take a look at that after the battle. So if you want to take a look at that first, I've got no issues there. We'll do that, and we'll come back to this a little bit later. So let me know what you guys want, and that's essentially where we're going to be headed. Go ahead and get one of my light javelin horse. We'll put him here as well. Accept. Hey, how you doing, guys? Scotch the rest. He definitely got the scotch the rest part is correct. I love the choices here. Oh, these are great. I like my favorite one is the last choice. He doesn't come from anywhere. He just appeared somewhere at some point. And Uganda. Actually, there's something you guys don't know, and that is that there is an answer to this question. And the answer is Uganda. Because, I've been speaking with a fake voice this whole time, but actually this is my real voice. And I would like to say hello to all of you. My name is not Agrippa, it is not Kevin, it is actually Nemembe Ombaso. I am the great-great-grandson of the great Idi Amin Dada. So I just wanted to know, he's funny, yes, because actually I make fun all time of make American accent is all not true. I am actually 100% Ugandan. Welcome, my friends. Remember, it didn't just come out of nowhere. Exactly. Dave Zizou said. All right, that would be interesting, though, I think. All right, guys, so we're going to go ahead. I think I'm going to go ahead. I want to first of all save. Huge shave scummer here, number one. Number two, we're at the last battle of this campaign. So we're really close to getting a total victory here. I'm going to save here over Macedon. I wish I could do the Cylon voice. I think I can only do the Ugandan dictator voice. Over here to the left, actually, in this battle, we've got a nice hill here. Ideally, I'd want to set all my guys up here, but I don't usually pay attention to deployment. I just throw my guys out there and hope for the best. But what I do want to show you guys are the user creations. So we're going to take a look there for now. Let's head out for now and be right back. Main menu. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, Sean. So, yeah, we just saved the battle just now. Oh, my God. What are these odds? Oh, okay. I see what happened. Oh, quite possible. I like how they didn't come up with any of the rational choices. So guys, we're going to take a look at the custom battles that have essentially been made for the users here. Oh, wrong place, sorry. Let's go back. There we go. So I think we need to go to Epic Battle. Here we go, guys. So as you guys can see, I have downloaded Heraclea, southern Italy. Pyros, king of Epirus, has landed in southern Italy at the request of the Tarentines, who sought his aid in their war with Rome. The Romans sent the consul Publius Valerius Lavenius against him with a large army. The two armies met at the small town of Heraclea on the river Siris. And we also have the incredible Battle of Philippi. So for those of you that don't understand, the Battle of Philippi is essentially a war, well, a battle that occurred after the death of Caesar. So in this case, it's Caesar's supporters, who are known as, I believe, it's not the Popularis, and I'm trying to think here exactly what they were called. And for the sake of argument, I'm going to call them the Caesarians. So they're the Caesarians, and essentially those were made up of Mark Antony, Caesar, or I should say Caesar's rightful heir, Octavian, who many of you know as Augustus, and the third. Can anybody come up with the third of the triumvirate? So it's a triumvirate. A triumvirate is basically three people ruling a country. So it was Mark Antony, Octavian, and there's a third, and I wonder if anybody knows who he is, against the Liberators. And why did they call themselves Liberators? Well, this army was made up of Brutus, Pompey, all of these different units that were essential. Excuse me, Brutus. Pompey was dead by now. Brutus, Cato, I believe, a few other members of the Senate who essentially assisted in killing Caesar or were somehow involved in the actual the murder. And they became the Liberators. So we're going to launch this battle. Now, interestingly enough, in this particular battle, you can only play as the Caesarians. You can't play as the Liberators, which I think would be pretty cool. And so they're called the Triumvirs. That being said, you know, I'm sure that they're eventually going to come up with a part 2 as the Liberators. This particular mod was made by Odanetheus. And for any of you guys that have played, you know, either Sengoku Jidai or Pike and Shot, you guys will be familiar with the name Odanetheus because he's made a lot of our mods. He's done an incredible job at making them. And remember that we essentially take a look at the mods. We don't allow mods, like unlike a lot of other games that have a big workshop community, we don't allow mods that are not good. And if we deny your mod, we don't want you to feel bad, you know. It doesn't mean we don't like you or anything. It just means that, you know, maybe work a little harder on it, something like this. So all of our mods have been checked and approved by Richard Bodley Scott. They've all been checked, and, you know, we played them, so we know that they're really, really good. Caesarians have a section. Interesting question there. Okay, so we're going to jump in. Hello, Filippo. We're going to accept, guys, and I want to show you guys what our users have created. So this just goes to show you the incredible power of, number one, our modification assets, and number two, the creation ability of our users. So here we go, guys. As you guys, or many of you know or should know, the Battle of Philippi essentially started off with fortifications. I want you guys to take a look at these units. Look at that, guys. Look at the shields. Look at the headgear. This is created completely by one of our users. So as you can see here, he's also changed the names. These are regular legions, newly raised legions over here. We've also got some fortifications out in front, some towers, some walls, etc. The Galatian allies, and here the legions actually have numbered names, which is really fascinating and adds a lot to this particular game. So we're going to take a look. That's the Liberator side, and we're taking a look at the Caesarian side. Really, they're known as the Triumviri. Here we go. Did the Caesarians have a section? Yes, Kandra saying, wow, he's liking it. He's liking it a lot. So there we go. We're playing as this side, of course. And we've also got Lucius Saxa and all the generals that were fighting for the Triumviri during this battle. So I'm going to get started. I'm going to play a little bit. I don't know if we're going to finish the whole battle, because I do want to try to finish the campaign if we have time. But we'll get started. So I'm going to let the enemy actually come to us. I'll see if we can fire any of our ballistas. I don't think we can. We can, however, start moving our cavalry forward, so let's do that. And I don't know if you guys are taking a look at the back of those helmets there, but it looks like they also had an addition to the back, which is quite realistic. You know, especially for cavalry, you would have sort of a sloped helmet in the back, so that if anybody, for instance, was to get behind you and slash you with a sword on your neck, there's a good chance you'd survive, or at least, you know, just have a fractured neck, which is probably just as deadly as opposed to a big gaping wound on the back of your neck. So we're going to end the turn here and turn it over to the enemy and hope for the absolute best. I also have to mention there's a lot of units on this map. Here we go. Let's see if they'll take the bait. So we've essentially set up fortifications across from one another, and we're waiting for one or the other to make a move. Oh, that would be cool, Cable. That mod is terrific looking, says Barreled. And there's Cassius's camp. Oh yes, Cassius. Got a nice amount of casualties here, realistic for the time period. I don't know if you guys noticed that the casualties here are much higher than when we were playing our campaign. And that's because these are to scale. So in other words, during the Battle of Philippi, the casualties were really, really high. Quite a lot of men dying on both sides. Let's go ahead and get these cavalry units up. And I'm going to start firing at the Gallic Allah. I'm not sure what the Allah stands for. Some sort of, maybe just, you know, specialists in missile combat, something like that. That would be my guess. There we go, 26, man. And I want to go ahead and fire at the unit where we're going to do the most damage. So we'll fire at the Syrian Auxilia. Oh, that didn't work so well. I've never been a fan of the ballista, to be honest with you. No, seriously, I mean, you know, you're firing one projectile, a big projectile, mind you, so yeah, that makes sense, but, I mean, how effective is it really in terms of, you know, taking out an infantry section? Like, for me, a ballista's main use would be either to try and, you know, maybe grapple onto a wall, which would be just as dangerous as using ladders, or maybe to scare the hell out of a unit. The only other usage I could imagine for it is if you had like a really, really, how could I put this, a unit that was really compact, you know, like next to one another, and you fired a ballista through it, you could probably cause some damage and some panic, but the reload time, all that stuff, it just doesn't seem worth it to me. I'm not getting the ballista. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm putting down, like a bunch of people are looking at this chat or at this video and just going like, how dare Agrippa not like the ballista? Shame on him. There's just something about it that I'm not a fan of. It's just really not something I would spend much on, to be honest. All right, let's take a look. So I'd love to start moving forward with my sides here, but I think first I want to start moving forward with these guys on the left. But the enemy's got a lot of men here. I mean, just look at that. You know, the liberators are waiting for us. You'll have to draw your own conclusions, but I do want to know, guys, and this is actually a question, we might make a poll for this, because there's a lot of different belief systems about Rome, Julius Caesar, etc. I want you guys to answer if Musso can make this poll. Give me 1 second. So we'll see if we can make a poll of this, because I'm curious. So a lot of people actually do see Brutus and those that murdered Caesar as sort of liberators, you know, that they killed a tyrant or a dictator, whereas others thought that Caesar was perfectly either not trying to be a tyrant or was planning to be a tyrant and probably deserved it anyway. I'm kind of that school of thought. But some people do support Brutus, that sort of thing, so I'm curious to see what you guys think. In fact, I've got a lot of American friends back from the States, libertarians, and one of the sort of heroes of the libertarian movement is Brutus. So that's just kind of interesting. Totally biased by Amsterdam Press. Yes, we could definitely zoom in a little bit more on the blue enemy troops. We'll take a nice little look here. Some really beautiful ones. The shields, they've definitely added something to the shields. I could see like a nice little pattern there. And again, you guys could all do this on your own. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. Thanks, Muso. All right, let's see. Got 1 vote so far. Claudius should have restored the Republic. I don't think, I think Claudius's intention initially was to restore the Republic. But, you know, unfortunately, once he realized just how corrupt his own family was, just how desperate the Praetorians were to essentially keep him in power anyway, he sort of had no choice but to rule. Claudius' story is a really sad one. There's actually a play, and it's not entirely historically accurate, but it's pretty accurate in terms of the, especially the intrigue around that time period, called I, Claudius. And I have to say, they definitely give a romanticized version of Claudius, but he was an intelligent guy. He was an emperor, and Claudius was very much in favor of a republic. In other words, he was not a fan of Caesar, but he descended from that Caesarian lineage, really from that Octavian's lineage, actually. But he definitely wanted to restore the republic. Didn't really happen, though. Once he became emperor, he's like, you know what, this isn't so bad. I don't mind it as long as I'm the one in charge. That's okay. It's 2 books, actually. Ah, very cool. It's an excellent book. It's an excellent, the BBC actually made a show on it as well. So, you know, just about any way you wanna try and research it, it's quite fascinating. Definitely something I would recommend. If you like Game of Thrones, that sort of thing, you will love I, Claudius. Now, there's not as much bloodshed, you know, that you can see with your eyes. Of course, there are people getting killed, but you hear about it more often than not because it's done in an old sort of mid-'80s, mid-'70s BBC style. There wasn't a lot of money to go around that time at the BBC, so you had to choose either good actors or you know, good action. And in I, Claudius, it's definitely more good actors than good action, but really good acting, really good intrigue too. There's a difference between, is there a difference between shock cavalry and melee cavalry? That's a good question. So I don't think I've played enough to actually answer properly. By the way, let's take a look at our units. We also look pretty badass here. Legio 3, the 3rd Legion. And we've got some newly raised legions here. Very, very nice. Like I said, guys, this is just a user-made battle. I almost want to say, like, they did a better job than we did. This looks great. So let's see if, yeah, I'm going to move forward. Not sure this is a great idea. We've got to do something. Javelins. 32. Very nice. Fortunately, the enemy is too far for us to get any hits. Let's take a look here at the straw poll, see if anybody has voted. Yes, that's him, Derek Jacoby. Oh, he's awesome. All right, so actually interesting difference here. So it looks like 7 voted for the Caesarians and 3 voted for the Liberators. So we definitely have supporters of Brutus here, supporters of the Republic, which I find interesting. I'd love to hear why you support the Republic. You know, we try to sort of mix, you know, both having fun with historical accuracy when we do these streams. So yeah, if you want to share, please do. I mean, that stuff fascinates me. Let's see if we can charge here. Once again, it wouldn't be a very high impact charge, so I'm going to move forward and I'm just going to throw some missiles. Gallic Allah held firm. Oh, that's fascinating. I didn't know that, God's. I didn't know that he did the translation of the 12 Caesars. That is amazing. Of course, once, I mean, after Nero, it's pretty much just like dead, 1 month dead, 1 week dead. 1 year dead. I mean, of course, there were a few dynasties there that lasted quite a while, besides just the Caesarian dynasty. But for the most part, yeah, it was rough. All right, I think we're going to end the turn, but you guys could notice that turn took a while. And that's because we just have so many units to move here. Also, with this user-made scenario, I mean, if we just back up, just look at the immense nature of this battle. I think when we're playing our Greek campaign, these are the amount of men we have. Maybe something like that. In this battle, we're getting an entirely new section, and we're also facing against an entirely new enemy section over here. So we'll end the turn. We're hoping for the best, and we're going to turn it over to the Liberators. So that's a great question, Perfilis. There we go. Thanks, Muso. Often Muso answers before I even need to, which I appreciate. Yeah, I think that's a good point. Beryl makes a great point. It's sort of it sort of goes back to the old saying. You know, trading one dictator for another. So, you know, maybe you kill Caesar and, you know, in his place you replace him with somebody who ends up being, you know, 10 times worse. I think the Republic was pretty much doomed to failure no matter what happened. We're going to charge here. And actually we managed to impact. Wow. They stayed put. That's not smart. I would charge with our Thracians, but it actually looks like against these Judean mounted foot, we wouldn't do so well. We're actually more likely to lose on the charge, but we would definitely win on the actual melee fighting after. Bit of a conundrum. I'm going to charge. I know. May not be the greatest idea. But if we can withstand the charge and hold firm, then we're going to be doing much better in the follow-ups. So let's do that. '71. We go, enemy disrupted. Now, the one thing that's frustrating me is the Liberators have not moved forward at all, which leads me to believe that they want us to come to them. We know better than that. We know way better. Enemy held firm. Yes, 123. That's a good throw. Definitely, Zach. Slingers are extremely deadly. Sean is saying definitely my favorite game. So glad to hear that, man. And, you know, like I mentioned, things are only going to get better with the creation of the user mods. That's why we want you guys to help us make these mods. We know you've got some of you, not all of you, let's be honest. You know, you open up a pack of eggs, you're bound to find some broken eggs in there, more than likely. But in general, guys, you know, you have the ability to make these scenarios. The Pike and Shot community had a ton of these mods. The Battle Academy community before that also had quite a lot. The Sengoku Jidai one did have some mods, not nearly as many as I expected, but I'm really hoping here for Field of Glory 2 that we have just a huge amount of modifications for guys to play. And like I mentioned before, and I'm going to say it again because I think it's very important, we're not just putting out trashy mods here. I mean, these mods are reviewed by our staff. If they're not good enough, you know, we send a sorry letter to the creator. We just say, look, you know, this currently is not up to our standards. So if you guys are looking at the modifications, and look at that 45 with the ballista, but if you're, you know, trying to look up those modifications, you're only going to be finding good stuff for the most part. Now, obviously, you might not agree with our reasoning as to why we like it, but for the most part, the mod will be playable at the very least, and more often than not, very, very entertaining. So Dally has an interesting point here. Dally mentions the thing about the Republic at the time of Caesar was that it had already started to fall a century before when people started to use violence to get their political crap through. And I think what Dally's mentioning there is the proscriptions. Essentially, not prescriptions, not like you're going to the doctor to get, you know, to cure your sore throat. The proscriptions were essentially whenever a new ruler would come to power. Before Caesar, there was actually a dictator named Sulla. So even then, the Senate really wasn't as strong, ideally, as they'd want to be. But these proscriptions, they would basically write a list of people they wanted dead. And those people would be killed. So, suddenly, 50% of the political class is murdered overnight, and it just continues over and over again. So I totally understand what Dali means by that. I mean, that sucks. The empire was also way too big for the republic system to work as it had before. The liberators were the top 1%, concerned that their position at the top would be threatened without the republican system. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think Dali pretty much perfectly put that into context. That's the issue. I think, obviously the guys like Brutus, who I don't think are just horrifically evil, I think Brutus probably was, and again, I'm guessing. And by the way, look at that water. Even the water looks nice. Yeah, I think Brutus probably was a bit of an idealist. But I think there's probably an argument that they could have given to the plebs as to why they should allow the republic to continue. And of course, there would be some fake democracy. Oh, well, we look out for your own best interest. But really, they weren't. And I think even they knew that deep down inside. As Dali mentioned, they were looking out for their interests. They were looking out for the next senatorial position. Maybe there was one or two senators that actually cared about the people, but for the most part, yeah, not the greatest. Again, I'm quite biased because I'm a big supporter of Caesar, so I would be completely in support of that argument. Come on. Oh, cowards. No, not in the slightest, Jado. Not in the slightest. All right, well, the enemy's not going to attack us. I guess we're going to have to attack them. Got a lot of Spanish and German cavalry forces. And I like this because the Romans really weren't known for their cavalry. Not at all. The Romans were known for their legions, but cavalry was generally, contracted out to Germans or some other tribe, usually allied tribes. Give them some Roman red and send them out to the battlefield. It's the way it should be done. Make them work for you. All right, let's end the turn, turning it over to the Liberators. Wow. We actually managed to do a lot of damage to that unit, but that guy's going to break very soon. That's a great question, Cable. For all nations, oh, that's going to be tough. Dali knows a lot about this sort of thing. I think he might be able to help you, but if you're asking with all nations, that's really tough to cover all of that. I would start with one or pick a few. Because Dali was actually mentioning a book to me the other day about the Romans, which seemed quite interesting. I would definitely recommend choosing one of those nations and deciding what you want to find out about. I'm sure there's books written by Romans that would probably mention a lot of the nations, not in the best light, obviously, except for Rome. But that's just my guess. All right, let's see if we can break this unit, the Judean Allied Foot. There we go. We fragmented them, and that's a 100% chance of a win. Well, the enemy held firm, and actually we're going to charge in. Now, we generally would not charge in with slingers. In this case, however, charging with slingers is exactly what we're going to do, and we've broken the enemy. Look at that. So, keep that. That's another trick in mind. If you guys are playing the tournament, I'll share a little trick with you. If you're facing enemy slingers or enemy, missile units that are on foot and you disrupt them, charge. That's the best advice I can give. How are those Judeans holding up so long? It's a good question. Very good question. They held up quite a while, but I think the real answer to the question is this. The actual strength here, as you can see, is 1,573. To give you an example, when we were playing our campaign as the Macedonians, these units of missile units were 240 in strength. So the difference in manpower here is massive. The battle here, compared to our campaign, would basically be like every single one of our campaign battles joined into one. And even then, I don't think it would be quite as close, or quite close enough in terms of the size of this battle. It just wouldn't. Let's turn and fire. Look at the Moorish Auxilia, how awesome they look. The Moors look really cool. Wow. There we go, disrupted. Nice. Let's charge. These are Cappadocians. That is cool, Dally. I told you guys Dally would have an answer for you there. And I'm sure that that book is a hell of a read. We're going to go ahead and save this here, guys. I don't want to save over our Macedon save. I do want to play our Macedon campaign and try to get a victory there. But I'm just going to save this as the Caesarians. We'll go ahead and do that. Save. And actually, the Caesarians would be incorrect because Caesarion was actually supposedly, maybe not, the son that Julius Caesar had with Cleopatra. I think you guys can probably guess what happened to him. Yeah, not good. Not good. So Siri just joined us. So basically, Siri, the battle we were playing was a user creation. Guys, I'm actually going to take a 1 minute little break here. I'm going to go run and grab a glass of water so I don't start coughing all over the place. But if somebody wants to explain to Siri exactly what we were just looking at, please do. And when we come back, we'll take a look at maybe another user-created scenario or campaign. That's right, users can create campaigns as well. Okay, guys. Thanks for that. Take care, Sean. No, don't refund the bet. I would keep the bet there, Muso. Keep the bet because we're gonna make the bet on the final battle of the campaign. So everybody that's bet, it's okay. Keep your bets. We're going to jump into the final battle of our Macedonian campaign. And I definitely want more people betting. I don't know if we can reopen the bets here. I'd rather they just keep them, but I would love to reopen them to allow more people to jump in here. So I was talking about getting my guys up here on the hill. Unfortunately, we can't do that. We can get up there with some auxilia units. But for the most part, most of our men are going to stick here. So as long as the enemy doesn't get on this hill, I'll be somewhat happy. Yeah, I would refund and redo because we're going to do it for the final battle. So let's do that first. I want to make sure everybody gets their stuff back. I don't want you guys losing anything because of me. But we're getting to the end of our Macedonian campaign, guys. I'm so excited. We might be able to get a nice victory here. We've done really well so far. Won every single battle. Let's end the turn. Oh boy, that's a lot of Greeks. A lot of Greeks. And they've got some regular pike phalanxes here, something that they've been, well, they haven't had. They're also getting some of their missile units up here on the hill. I really didn't want that to happen. Well, typical. Typical Greeks. All right, let's go ahead and fire. And as you can see, the actual damage there is quite different than the damage we had in the last battle. I mean, you know, the numbers here, it's not even close. You know, compared to the battle we were just looking at, this is actually a small battle. When in reality, for our campaign, this is actually considered quite a large battle. So we don't have much cavalry for this battle at all. If I say battle again, I'm going to kill myself. We don't have much cavalry for this engagement. That being said, I think we really just need to break the enemy in the center as we've done before, and we win. But without too much cavalry, this could be a bit challenging. It really could be. Okay, I think we are going to go ahead and stick to this. I don't like the fact that they've got missile units here. I really don't. But unless we want to dedicate an entire portion of our army to stopping those guys, I think we're just going to have to basically ignore them and basically try to meet up with the army quickly and crush them. So let's go ahead and keep moving. I mean, we've won 5 fights so far against the Greeks. So this would be number 6. Either number 5 or number 6. It actually might be number 5. But this culminates into the end of the campaign. So we're so close to winning the Macedonian independence from the Greek states. We'll have to see if it happens or not. Sooner or later, you'll win big time. I like that way of thinking. Only a true gambler thinks that way. Musso just showed us the thought process of a hardcore gambler, which is, sooner or later I'll win, so I'll just keep gambling. Just like, throw away this life savings, who needs that, you know, because sooner or later, I've got this, so it's no big deal. Let's go ahead and fire some shots here at these slingers. Move up the Torofore. And with the light javelin horse, I'm just going to slowly move up. I'm not even going to go and try to get any cheap shots. I'm just going to move my guys up very, very measured and calculated. Because I'd like this to be fairly, I don't want to say, like, boring, but, you know, essentially a fight where I'm not, you know, taking crazy risks. Just a fight where, you know, I'm just doing what needs to be done to get a victory. We're so close to it. I can taste it. I want to go ahead and get that victory. So let's move forward here. We've got Kosmas. He's doing okay. You all right there, Cosmos? And I think that's good. We'll end the turn. Oh boy, I hate the situation just because of these guys on the left. They're bothering me. Yeah, I'm going to have to go and attack them. I hate the fact that I've got to use Kosmas because he's actually one of our generals, but it's really basically the only cavalry we have, including the 2 over here on this side. But that's the way we're set up here. Let's end the turn. What could ever possibly go wrong if I bet my house and my firstborn on that? Exactly. You'll win them back. Fisticuffs shenanigans. I'm not much better. I mean, you know, thankfully, I'm not given much to mess with because usually before the streams, me and Musso and some other Slytherin staff, we all work at the same office. So I'll see we have like 20 sliths left, and I'll just immediately bet them like, oh, let's just go all in. Oh, that didn't work out. Well, it sucks. Typical though, and just kind of move on as if nothing occurred. Ooh, Brad is betting against us. Brand, I should say, Brand. All right, here we go. Let's hit the enemy general. We're taking quite a risk here. So I'm going to move back. And the enemy cavalry has arrived. Doesn't look like we're doing very well against the enemy cavalry at all. So this general unit might be pretty painful. I'm going to turn towards them just to make sure, but I think we definitely have to start moving our men up and possibly get the enemy to charge first. But, you know, if this cavalry manages to flank us, we're going to be in a world of hurt. So we've got Onishiforos. I'm going to go ahead and charge. They're going to run, and I should be able to smash right into that unit. Sure enough, we did. Very nice. Move these guys forward. Move the superior warbands forward. I do wish we got the initial charge with them, but beggars can't be choosers. And let's go ahead and, yes, we'll impact the archers. Very cool. Let's grab our general here. And I do want to charge this unit, but we're on a terrible, terrible incline. And we're going to fire at the general with this guy as well. 23. Beautiful. And I think, once again, the catapult is great. Actually, I don't even know if this is classified as a catapult. I mean, mechanically it's a catapult, but I know that the catapult looks a bit different. This thing, when it fires into a phalanx unit, does a ton of damage. A second late. Oh. So we'd actually get a really nice charge here, believe it or not, against the Thorophoroi. But I don't know if it's worth it. And I'm also worried about the enemy rolling us up. If you take a look here at the length of the line, you can actually see that the enemy outnumbers us with manpower. That being said, I think we have quality over quantity, whereas the enemy has quantity over quality. So we can definitely still win, but we've got to be careful. This is the last fight, the final fight. All right, let's end the turn. All right, enemy is definitely going to charge. There we go, 56. Wow, nice work by the Thorakitai. Very nice work. Actually, I think the proper way to say it is probably Thorakitai. There we go. Oh, we pushed back another unit. Fragmented them. Wow, we fragmented them. That's incredible. All right, now we're going to have to use our cavalry really well here. The tiny amount of cavalry we have has got to help us. Oh man, they're going for a rear attack on one of our cavalry units. I was worried this would occur. And now they could flank attack our general. Yeah, things are looking tough. Ooh. They actually did really well against Oneshaphoros. All right, well, we've got an interesting situation. Number one, we've got to do something about the missile units here. So I'm going to charge, and the missiles actually seem to be pretty damn powerful. Let's charge here. And now we might be able to get a better impact charge. If not, I'm going to send the Thorophoroi over here to try to deal with the really frustrating enemy javelin men. And I think they're going to be able to kill one of these generals just with some nice, well-placed shots, basically. Let's fire over here. So we could charge there. Doesn't look like it's going to be a very effective charge. I was hoping to charge into this unit with this unit. That's not going to work. So we'll do the next best thing. We'll move up a bit, fire some arrows. That's not going to work either. Let's see how these charges will go here. 23%, come on. There we go, they held firm, but they fell back. And of course our guys are not going to chase them. Why would they? Why would they seek the decisive win in this fight when they could just... It made me worry and bite my fingernails off the entire time. There we go, disrupted. They pushed back. That time our men followed. Well done. Let's see if we can push them back here. And actually there, we are the ones pushed back, unfortunately. I'm going to send this guy through. And hopefully he gets a nice hit there on the enemy units next turn. Actually, our charge here wouldn't go so badly. We could actually do some damage to this guy. We could also get our general caught in a situation he can't escape from. So let's try and get our general caught in a situation he can't escape from, because that's always fun. So here we go. We're going to charge with Dionysodorus. He's been with us since the beginning of the campaign. And now with our warbands, I think we can try and either charge these guys or we can go for these guys on the right, the general unit. I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to charge these guys to our left. I'm hoping this was a good choice. And there we go. We got the first break, first blood, essentially. But not the greatest first blood situation in the world. I'm going to turn towards Aniketos, but I'm not going to charge. All right, end the turn. Come on, boys. Oh, they're disrupting some of our units. This might be the first time the Greeks beat us. We've been so effective against the Greeks this entire time. Is this where they turn things around at the last battle of the campaign? It would certainly make sense, timing-wise, but it would be a little frustrating. Oh boy. Just worried about that. That's the enemy flank charge breaking us, of course. Hold it, men. Hold. We did hold firm with our Superior Warband, and we actually disrupted one of the enemy Thodophoroi. But our guys are getting smashed from all sides. So if we want to win, we really can't make any mistakes. Right to the cavalry there, sure enough. Hold fast, 'tis but a scratch, says Fiddles. I like that thought. I like the thinking. And unfortunately they're broken. This is the first time the Greeks have been ahead ever in a fight against us. We've got to put an end to this. Let's get a flank charge. 73, they held firm incredibly. A few of their guys died right there, but come on. Wow, they are holding firm. Well, we're going to get that impact charge here. Unless we can get a better impact charge here, and indeed we can. So let's do that. Enemy held firm, man. This is a frustrating enemy. I guess we're gonna move the general over here. See how we do against these guys. And I'm actually gonna charge with the Thodophoroi. This way, if the enemy evades, we might be able to catch them with our general unit, and if not, we can at least get a little bit closer to the enemy. Kill them, boys. There we go. Nice little disruption there. Nothing serious, but it's going to help us just a tiny bit. What about here? Come on, boys. They held firm. Man, these Greeks are actually tough. Like, they've had no bravery this entire time, and now suddenly they've gotten brave. Damn, it's frustrating. Let's get this guy over here. Some fire. Okay, ending the turn. Oh, and they've got this poor warband trapped on all sides. I have to say, this last battle, the Greeks absolutely improved their tactics. They also used the terrain, which we didn't use initially. I said we couldn't, but I think we probably could use the terrain, that hill. We just need to set up a lot of missile units over there and basically try to hold it. But right now, the enemy has definitely got us up against the wall, got us on the ropes, let's put it that way. They've got us on the ropes, for sure. We were undefeated, and all of a sudden, they got us on the ropes. Come on, 51, there we go, held firm. They still held firm. 47, they held firm again, come on. Somebody tell me that these guys are not being led by Athena herself. I mean, they are absolutely holding firm in every situation where they otherwise would go running in terror during any other battle. 42, come on, break them. Didn't even manage to break them. Refund bet. I'm glad somebody finally tried that. Let's see. All right, I'm going to keep firing at the enemy general. They still haven't attacked us with the enemy general. So I'm assuming that has something to do, although remotely, with the fact that we're choosing to kind of, you know, not attack them head on here. Come on. Let's go for a charge. Finally, fragmented, guys. Is this the beginning of the end or the end of the beginning? There we go. Held firm. Oh, they just don't stop. Let's charge here. Yeah, very, very non-committal by our men there. They still held firm, man. That's enraging. There we go. Got an enemy unit fragmented. Of course, I'm going to charge here. And we're going to keep charging here, if not just for the sake of getting the enemy missile units away from here. This is interesting. So with this general unit, we could potentially charge one of these guys. The charge is not looking good, though. It's really not looking good. Even the fighting after is looking pretty terrible. So, what to do? Well, we could do this. We could go this way and try to hit the flank of the enemy here. If, and this is a big if our Thorakitai can hold Xanthipos in place. Which I don't think they can, to be honest with you. Come on, boys. History is watching you. Yep, we're going to end the turn. All right, our Thorophodae did hold strong, but I think they, because of their pullback, our cavalry is not going to be able to flank the enemy. It's just too far. Could be wrong. That poor warband is in serious trouble. And I'm amazed they're still holding firm. The barbarians have a lot of bravery, but eventually they're going to run. There they go. They broke. Thought it was going to be an auto break, but they did break naturally, although they did put up a very nice fight, all things considered. And now we're being flanked here. This is the problem. Once we get trapped, we are in serious trouble. And the enemies also decided to charge us. We did disrupt their unit, so nice defense there. Yeah, me too. I should be working as well. Well said. Well, when you love your work, it's like not working at all. Oh, that's not entirely true. There we go, broke the enemy. Wonderful. The enemy did hold firm, though. Can we break them here? Yes, we broke them here. I mean, things are still looking bad, don't get me wrong, but looking slightly better, maybe? Let's see. Okay. Nice flank charge here. And, let's see. We might be able to get a flank charge. No. Well, we could definitely get a decent impact charge here. 47, they held firm. And yeah, this unit is in trouble. There's no doubt about it. Impact charge. And let's get a shot off at the enemy cavalry. Let's get behind them. Oh, damn it! Javelin unit is blocking our path. Hold it together, says Laird. I'm doing my best, Laird. I can't hold on much longer, man. I can't hold on much longer. And also, our damn guy's broke. Oh, man, come on. All right, we're going to charge here. Get a flank charge on the Thorakitai. 49, fragmented. It's a good start. Held firm. Man, so close, too, to breaking them there. So I'd actually love to charge. It's not going to happen. We're going to get this cavalry back here again. This guy's already prepared to essentially start running. Gojmash, son of Theophanes. Let's see what we can do. That's about all I can think of. I mean, at least they're close, so we'll do some damage. We'll go ahead and fire at the rear as well. And we'll end the turn. No! Why did you do that, Musso? You know we all need to share those. Shame on you. Laird has got a lot. Laird is saving up. I think he's going to be able to get himself a coupon or pick a stream very soon here. An enemy flanking force has arrived on the battlefield. I think this is going to be a loss, my friends. So now we've got some more enemy units approaching on the battlefield. They've got reinforcements. They just broke one of our generals. Yeah, I will say this. If we end the turn, or end the stream before the end of the battle, it's going to be, depending on what side it has more of a chance to win. The fact that the enemy just got reinforcements and just broke another one of our units is not making me feel much... It's not making me feel very confident about the prospect of victory. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. There we go, broke another unit. Hey, nice. Anytime we lose hope, there's a tiny ray of hope still left. So we'll see. There we go, broke another enemy unit. Oh, and look at that, a lot of different morale checks there. Come on, boys. Okay, here we go. So first, we have to turn towards the enemy with this unit. And I mentioned this in my last battle. One of the things I don't like about leading a Hellenistic force or a Greek/Macedonian/Syracusan force is that turning those, constantly having to turn those phalanxes can be really frustrating. You know, you have like the perfect charge, and then all of a sudden it screws itself up. You've got to change things up. You've got to change your tactics. We just got to break, which is awesome. Let's charge here. 39, they're disrupted. They're going to fall back a bit. And I think we get an attack here as well. And these guys held firm. Your superior fighting skills upset me. We could probably do pretty well against this guy. Oh, nice. All right, look at that. Can we get a charge? We can't, but we can definitely get a javelin throw. I don't like this. We can actually see the enemy, General Xanthipos. He's turning towards us, and he's probably headed for us. What if we get an impact charge here? Let's go for it. 45, fragmented. Very nice. Very nice. Again, don't get too excited here, because we're still totally outnumbered. So a win here would still be, you know, a really difficult thing to achieve. I think I'm going to go ahead and just move him up there. There we go. We finally knocked down one of the general's men. It took long enough. And I'm going to fire at the rear of this general here. Also because he's got a hoplite unit. I think we could probably maximize our damage. Alright, ending the turn, guys. So 27 to 22% now. A lot of their units are starting to re-rally, which we don't want. 2 of their units just rallied. Oh, I was worried about this. They're disrupting us. There's just too many of them. There's too many of them, boys. Yeah, I think that's exactly what he's going for, Strategus. And we're in a terrible position here with our unit. We chased the enemy. I sort of knew that was going to happen with the Torakatai. But we had no choice. Now they've got us on the edge of a hill. They're throwing spears down at us. I would not want to beat that unit. All right, nice disruption there. Nice disruption there. Ooh, interesting. We didn't do anything there. Nice, just had a unit rally. Unfortunately, they're doing really well against our other units. I think our best bet is going to be to get a victory on the right side here. Come on. Broke. Nice. Broken unit. I like it. I'm going to fire at the rear here of the general. Charge here. Enemy unit fragmented. We're charging with our other general here. Broke the enemy unit. Beautiful. And we broke a 3rd unit. And this is actually Onishiforos, the sub-general. Let's go for a charge here. Enemy unit fragmented. Oh my gosh, guys. Could we possibly get lucky enough to come out on top with this? I think it's unlikely, but anything's possible. And as somebody mentioned, that's exactly what the enemy general is going to do. They're going to try to charge us from the rear. See if we can break this guy. Okay, there we go. Enemy unit broken. Enemy unit disrupted ahead of us. And actually, we could get a charge on that unit, but it's going to be very, very hard to determine who's going to win this charge. So you can see the draw chance is 88%. I'm still going to go for the charge, but yeah, not the greatest idea. I wouldn't recommend anyone doing it. And at this point, we're just going to try to get behind the enemy. And we will go for the impact charge on the enemy general with Eufranor, the son of Tychon. Tychon actually sounds a lot like a Battlestar Galactica, a deadlock term, like the Tychon ship. Let's go ahead and fire at the rear of the enemy here. Let the rocks fly. I'm going to try to get behind him once again and just throw some missiles at this guy. And we've got our Thorofuroi, but it's going to take them a while to come back to the battlefield anyway. And I don't think they're going to be here before the end of the match. That being said, the Greeks officially have more casualties than we do right now. But let's not get our hopes up. Let's just, let's see what happens, put it that way. All right. Victory for Macedon. I think so, Hourly Fish. You might be right. We've gotten this far, but we're oh so far away. We'd have to get something in return for going this far. Maybe the Greeks would decide to, you know, provide us with a tiny degree of autonomy, like some sort of, you know, vassal state. That would be our best hope here. If things don't go to plan, which I don't think they will. That unit is totally finished. They're actually charging the unit to throw it off with all of their missile units. I actually like the wasted time that the unit caused there. I doubt he's going to be able to break any of the units, but I like the fact that they focused all of their missile units on that one guy. That's definitely good for the rest of our infantry. Oh boy. Nice! Our unit rallied on the left side, guys. Unbelievable rally there. He's being attacked by 3 units, and he managed to rally. That's really brave. So this pike phalanx has got some bravery left in it. Thanks, Damien. All right, let's charge. Damn it. That time we did not do well. I'm going to turn this cavalry, so next turn we'll be able to attack. But yeah, that was not good. That was not good at all. There we go, broke another unit. And it looks like we're even chasing them. Now I'm going to have to turn these guys around. Because most of the enemy, in fact, if not all the enemy, is now on the left side. Turn around once again. Look at all those hoplites / phalanx units that are dead there on the field. My goodness. Alright, I think we're going to go ahead and, yeah, turn this way. 42% for the Greeks. Let's go for the charge. He's going to evade, the sneaky bastard. And I'm going for the charge. I know I shouldn't, but I want this general dead. And if we have to do this to catch him, so be it. I want that general dead, too. Might as well get an impact charge on the enemy missile unit. Of course, now we put ourselves... We're basically ripe to be crushed by Xanthipos. But let's hope it doesn't happen, and let's end the turn. Can't type and eat plus dunk it. That's very good reasoning. I think it would have to be 45% to 15%. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that it has to be at least 45%. We are winning, but I would not get your hopes up. The enemy has plenty of units left, strong units, whereas we have a lot of weak, damaged units left, essentially. And a lot of the stronger units we do have are on the other side of the field. And it's going to take them at least 1 or 2 turns to even get here. And sure enough, look at that. The enemy charged us. I sort of expected that, though. And they're actually flank attacking our spearmen there. Some nice measured shots at our poor general. There we go, fragment to the enemy, and I'm hoping that our general can roll them up here. I think these guys are going to break very soon. Auto break, yep, sure enough. So the auto break happens when there's just no chance. Even if they want to stay in the fight, they're broken. They can't remain. There's just no chance. Here we might break as well. But what I want to do is I want to catch that general. Let's see if we can do that. Come on. Impact 15. He held firm. Little bastard. Okay, well, we got to keep on moving. There's no chance. We can't just stop and catch our breath. At this point, we must get to the battlefield quickly. Now let's see if we can smash in here. Enemy will break on contact. And I was hoping they would charge here, and they did. Unfortunately, I think it's just too late, my friends. It's just too late. And let's fire at this unit that is preparing to break. Fragmented. Okay, we're ending the turn. And there we go. I was certain that that was going to happen eventually, but kind of sucks. And that's our warband breaking. Some of their units are dispersing, which basically stops them from ever having a chance to return to the field. That's great. But we need even more enemy routes here. Come on. Flank attack on our missile units. I have not heard about it yet, Condra. And they actually broke our missile unit there. I'm hoping we can still do something about their general, but getting rear attacks on our general unit here is not going to make those chances any higher. Come on. Enemy still held firm. One of the enemy generals dispersing there. I mean, the battle is extremely close. That's the only thing I can say in our favor, is the battle is extremely close. Nope. And again, if we don't get just perfect situations here, we will not win. I'm going to charge. Enemy unit fragmented. Very cool. We're sending in the rest of these hoplite units. Send this one in as well. We might be able to actually meet up with the enemy general here. Okay, and now I want to see if we could break the Thurofuroi. There we go. Enemy unit broken. Our guys are going to chase them. These guys unfortunately held firm. Let's get this archer, and I think that this Zhistofura unit is going to try to break us. I'm almost certain that's what's going to happen. In the meantime, I want to try to do as much damage to their fragmented units as possible, so let's fire at that unit there. It's our best hope of a victory. And we shall end the turn. Here we go. Alright, flank attack by the enemy. Really good move there. And again, that's one of the problems with the phalanx, is it's not easy to maneuver them. So you end up getting stuck. You're definitely going to break our artillery without a doubt. Although we're somehow managing to disrupt that enemy unit, that enemy general unit. Another rear attack here by the enemy. Damn. There we go. We broke a unit. That's pretty good, guys. Unfortunately, the rest of them are still there. I was hoping for a rout after the morale check, but I didn't expect to get a break that quickly. So I'm kind of happy, but not 100% sure that we could still win, but that's a good start. So let's go ahead and charge here. 55%, they're disrupted, and remember, this is an enemy general unit. So now we're going to charge them from this side. 16, not nearly as powerful there. But I'm going to go ahead and follow through with these guys. Wow, they're quite strong, I have to say. Charge with these guys as well. 32. We fragmented the enemy. That's getting awfully close to a break. That's not getting close to a break. And, yeah, let's go for a charge here. And they're disrupted. That's a start. They're fragmented. That's a big start. Fragmented versus fragmented. Neither one won there, but we were definitely trying to see if we could break them. Keep firing, boys. I'm going to just leave that guy there because he'll probably be shot at by the light javelin men. And right now, time is not on our side. Well played. Thanks. Dude, throwing out the Hearthstone there. Well, of course, you say well played in many other games, but it just, for some reason, well played reminds me of Hearthstone so much. It's probably just because of the amount of times it's said in the game. Great sales pitch since Damon Narushim with sort of like a, yeah, I guess. Because Muso's just like, fast, buy it. It rarely works, but occasionally it does. The beer is also a Hearthstone card. That's interesting. Well, most of the time when I'm playing Hearthstone, I'm drinking a beer anyway, so I guess it makes sense. And there we go. They did force us back. We gotta get them to 60%. So many of them are reforming these units. All right, broke another enemy phalanx there. Broke another enemy phalanx there. They're at 47%. Hold on, boys. Hold on now. Broke another enemy unit. Oh my god. May the gods bless us. Come on, boys. They held firm there. Okay. Hey, who knows? This is really close now. 30, they held firm. Remember, this is an enemy general unit. Breaking him would definitely help. Still held firm. Man, they still held firm. They're frustrating. All right, let's charge. I'm going to charge in the rear of this unit, and that is a flank attack. 40%, they're fragmented. Can we break them? Ooh, not this turn at least. Man, this is an interesting fight, guys. I'm going to move our Cretan archers forward. I'm going to try to break the Thoroforo unit. Didn't seem to work out for us. I'm not going to fall back. I'm just going to turn towards the enemy, because actually falling back will give us a morale check anyway. Let's try to avoid a morale check, but it's going to give us one anyway. 35% to 48%. We're just hoping for the best here. Oh man, they've rallied. The general unit has rallied. $18, disrupted. It's pretty good. Yeah, sorry about that, Cable Nexus. We shut down the betting, I think, when we started this battle. I don't know, we should probably give you guys, like, at least a minute when the battle starts to sort of decide whether or not you're going to support me or support the enemy. Should already have an answer, but yeah, there's probably a way to do that where you can all get an opportunity. Even if you come in late, maybe you can win, like, a quarter of the prize or something. Come on, boys. And there we go. Enemy unit broken. 51%. And that enemy general unit is crazy. They are holding firm under any circumstances. Enemy held firm there as well. Nice. We had a unit rally. Now we've disrupted the enemy general. Come on. So I'm going to have my rallied enemy unit face towards the enemy cavalry. I am going to try to chase the enemy missile units. I don't expect I'll catch them. But it's always good to try. And now we'll see if we can't finish these guys off. Come on. There we go. Auto breaks, and that's an enemy general unit auto breaking, guys. If we can get this to 60, I believe that's a victory. If we can get it to 60%, I believe it's a victory. Believe is a very, very important word here because I'm not 100% sure on that. So please remember the believe part. And don't just take my word for it. Come on. Turn this guy this way. There's no point in firing with that guy at all. He's just going to end up getting himself hurt. So we'll end the turn. And they've got some rallied units. That's not what I was looking for at all. Some of these units are rallying. But plenty more are routing. That's the good news. Fortunately, they still have a tremendous amount of missile units here. And their missile units have plenty of ammunition to just carry out this fight non-stop against us. Just 3%, right? It seems so easy, but it's so not. It's so not. There we go. They just broke that poor unit. Nice. Fragment to the enemy general. All right, now, once again, frustrating part of the phalanx. We're going to have to turn all the way around to be effective. But I feel pretty confident about our positioning. Let's turn this guy this way. We'll turn this way, and we'll turn this phalanx towards that enemy in front of us. We'll also start moving, trying to basically close the enemy cavalry in. Charge this guy, even though I know he's going to run. No! Stuck around. And actually, I'm starting to see what's happening now. Because we're going uphill, we're actually not doing very well against these enemy missile units. They're doing much better against us. Come on, give us a win. Damn it. Four. I'm actually tempted to turn around. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, they're going to get a shot at my back, but at this point, uphill, I can't do any damage to these guys. And the turn. Come on, boys. Gilles de la Roulette. Instead of Gilles de Rais. They really want to break that unit. They know they're only 3% away from a loss, so they're doing everything they can to catch up. There we go. Disrupted. Nice. It's a start. Auto breaks. The enemy general just auto broke. We just need 1% more, guys, to get a victory. 1% more. That's all we ask for. Breaks. I think that's a win, guys. I think that's a win for glorious Macedon. Breaks. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's looking pretty good now. Chase him down. Take no prisoners. Oh, yeah, guys. We pulled that right out of the fire. Holy wow. I'm just amazed. I'm really amazed that we managed to win that. That's amazing. Now, of course, you know, they could still do something crazy like rally a bunch of troops here, but I'm almost certain that this victory is ours. Incredible. Another unit broken. Look at that. Held firm. We could still get one shot off. We might as well. Look at that distance. End the turn, guys. That was indeed. And I think that means we win the campaign, guys. We have won independence for Macedon. And in fact, I think our kings are going to be taking over Athens quite quickly. Greece is ours. The capital is ours. It's all ours. Macedon are the new rulers of the Greek peninsula. Beautiful. Let's make sure that there's no magical, you know, rally here at the end. I don't think there's going to be. That was intense, indeed. It certainly was. They did manage to disrupt our general there at the end, which is kind of frustrating, but it's okay. He didn't kill him. There we go, boys! Victory. Absolutely beautiful. So there we go, guys. Look at the enemy kill 2002. This has been our bloodiest battle in this campaign so far. We lost 875. We had 1,758 wounded. We took 4,600 enemy slaves. And there we go. We've won the campaign. Congratulations, your glorious army has finally defeated your Greek enemies. They have been forced to accept humiliating terms. Beware that resentment does not lead them to break the treaty when the ink is barely dry. So there we go, guys. That is the victory. Campaign stage 6 of 5. We're done with the campaign. We got our first victory there as Macedon. I hope you guys all enjoyed this Let's Play. I had a hell of a time doing it. It was really enjoyable, really entertaining, and I'm glad that we got that victory. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Glory to Macedon, and glory to you guys. Congrats to everybody that won their points there. I think some of you came out of this doing really, really well. So well done, my friends. I'll see you guys in the next stream. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Take care, and have an awesome, awesome